my feeling, and as I watched the meeting last time, is that we're playing games. We have a business to run in the city to serve our citizens. We aren't in the game playing business. We aren't waving pieces of paper. We're figuring out a plan. And there's gonna be people that are gonna disagree, and I'm happy to communicate with those, do whatever we need to do. And many of those people don't disagree after they talk to me because they just want information. So I think we're moving in the right direction, and I don't, we'll get to a point. I'd love to get feedback, and I love examples of how we can do better. And that was the question I had from an implementation standpoint. This isn't set in stone. We can move at certain levels for certain exceptions that fit the criteria. But directionally, we've gotten input from thousands to be able to move forward. So Brett, yes.
I was just gonna reiterate what you're saying as far as this meeting. The plan, the comp plan all four of them have been approved. Right. So we're moving down that direction. I mean, just as a reminder, I think I hear the future land use map has been approved.
Yeah, I was gonna clarify that too, because Ed said that earlier. That's approved.
So those things have been approved, but they can be modified over time as we see things. And I think that's what we're trying to talk about. Is I think on a staff level, we're hoping, let's move forward with that, and as we take input from folks and things, we look at it, and if we need to modify some things, that we're open.
And that's, I think, the difference, the frustration is we've got all this stuff going on over here, comp plan wise, then we have all this other stuff going on that doesn't make sense, then we've got infrastructure issues. There's a lot to digest. We don't go to people, have never gone to people to annex into the city. That's not the case with our neighbors. So we're trying to figure out, we don't make money after 4 months. We have a legislature that took away, because all the council, but Councilmember Roeder in particular said, we want new growth to pay for itself. Well, the legislature just approved, the governor hasn't signed it, that we're gonna get 10% less of new growth. And I go down there and I just look at them and say, do you understand the ramifications of this? Well, Steve, we wanna reduce taxes. It doesn't reduce taxes. It doesn't. Then look into the 170 million that you have in sales tax from internet and allow that to be used appropriately for infrastructure or roads or traffic. It's okay, I'm getting on it. There's other options that we're trying to find, but I have no problem, in fact, welcome a town hall meeting. It's just nice to get everybody together. So I'm happy to do that, but directionally, we've done a good job. And I don't think this is a time to start to turn around or to grandstand. So Brett, any other thoughts we can do? Will you work with Ed then, please? I guess.
Yeah, we'll work on a date. I think an important piece too is to maybe hear a little bit about what the city is doing on the planning side, on the intersections we're trying to tackle, how we're trying to tackle growth paying for itself, how we do that, because a lot of people don't know we have impact fees and we have a high capitalization fee, and so those things people don't know that we are trying to have growth pay for itself the best we can. It never does completely, but so that would be one component of this educational piece. I think maybe some infrastructure, a reiteration on the comp plan a little bit for those that haven't attended, maybe on the legal side, and talk with Caitlin, and then open it up to some questions. And again, that's up to the mayor and council. We were heading down an educational route because we got direction from a meeting when Ed had asked to do that. So it wasn't meant to be like a public hearing.
Schedule it. I just want,
yeah.
Sooner, I just didn't want tomorrow to be there next week. I'd like it to be, I'd like people to have notice. It's on, and planning and zoning, we'd love to have you guys there. I don't know that you need to be or want to be. I really am grateful for your time tonight. I'm grateful that council wanted to have this. I think this was necessary because there's a gap, there's a void, and we can't be, yes, Dr. Bemis.
That's my brother. Quick question, imagine Hayden idea when it first was started and we brought it to the public and the public came to a forum of some sort. That was a town hall, correct?
It was like we called it a community festival. Yeah. It was a big open house at elementary school.
What is the town hall, how is that any different?
I'd like to be able to, in my mind, so this is just me and Ed and Brett and council could do it, is to be able, I'd like to provide data on how the comprehensive plan was put forth. So a little bit like we did tonight, because we need that knowledge base. And then I want the community to be able to ask questions, if only to me, or the council, it doesn't matter. And I want it to be factual. It's not a political meeting. If we wanna have a political meeting, we can have somebody can call one. But our job is to serve. And some of these decisions are hard. So that's, in my mind, that's kind of what it was, part of and again, we haven't put an agenda together, and I'd like Ed's input and others
That was more
to be able to
open
say
house.
that.
More of open house format, closer
Yeah.
to the school.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems my name has been
Yes.
thrown out there, kind of like that, the town hall concept, I guess, if you want, it's just a label. What people really need, and it is those who, for whatever reasons, 2 years ago, okay, didn't know of, didn't participate in whatever, and they are now seeing what's happening, and they're saying, whoa. But it's really just a discussion, an opportunity to express that the major concern here is, for a crude term, the end body count. How dense, how many, 35,000 people, and how it's like, the plan, the layout of the plan, I think it's great, the concept and how it's done, but it's just, when developers come to you and say, hey, we wanna put this many people, or this many units, and it's gonna extrapolate out to this many bodies, that's, I think, the primary concern, is a discussion about the effects that 35,000 people in the city limits, and all traffic and everything else that everybody knows about, is the major concern of finding a way to possibly adjust, come to a somewhat of a informal agreement that when a development comes here or whatever it is, we're gonna try and keep the numbers down a little bit. So that in 2040, we don't have 35,000 plus, or as I believe it was Mr. Miles said, 15 years are looking at 300,000 to 400,000. So what's that gonna, and I've said it.
And I hope he meant.
Yeah.
All of
we're-
Union
we're-
County, because that's
we're part of it.
a buck 70, no, we're part of it.
Yeah.
We're a smaller and smaller piece, which is okay, and what's also good, Ed, is that you're involved with all the cities.
Yeah,
I mean, because you have to be, because we're not the ones chewing at the bone.
and you're right.
You
I
know,
was at
so-
Rathrum the other night, we're meeting with Post Falls council people tomorrow night. They are aggressively going after it. And what happens, because we are such a small area, what happens in those cities, as somebody said earlier today, they do come in here. And I'll say it again, then I'll shut my mouth. And I was gonna put a picture up, if you've been to my page, and the picture we have on the page, my boyhood home is there. And it is a sea of wall-to-wall tract homes that when I moved there was orchards and olive groves and open fields. And within 10 years, it was what I fear the prairie and the like is gonna look like in any,
You lived in Riverside?
Whittier.
Whittier, that's right.
Yeah.
So it's, and what they talked about tonight, we laughed, that was our first home to milk cows in Hayden, and it's now. Should've burned it down a long time.
It's more for discussion. That's all we wanna have, is a discussion.
But I think directionally, I don't want this, I'm happy to answer questions, because I want that to be that discussion point. I want there to be interaction back and forth. There's been so much good done, and so many smart people, and so many people providing input, Melissa, for this, that it's silly, you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You just have to figure out, like I said, is there an opportunity to be able to massage? And if so, where does that massage look like?
Right.
And I can't thank you all enough. Any other input? Alan, you doing okay?